What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Newage Ymir, their version of a Legend Scale Grimlock. This was sent to me by Mr. G. Tony. Thank you for sending stuff like this. I definitely wanted to look at this figure, but I'm not collecting Newage for my collection. But this one I had to see. I mean, this thing looks amazing. It is fully painted, at least in this mode. All of the gray, yellow, blue, green, and red are all painted on here. So everything you see is pretty much 100% painted. The yellow on the toes, the lighter gray here back on the tail, all of that is painted, and the arms as well. It is really nicely sculpted. Let's put the G1 carton there so you can take a look. They did a great job capturing the look of Grimlock overall. He does come with some nice accessories here. So you do get the gun, which I love when they integrate the accessories into the alt mode. So you can stick that on there, and that can kind of be on his back. He also comes with this sword. So if you remove the hilt, you can use this piece here. So if you open up his mouth, there is a little piece in there. And if you get out your spudger, you can flip this up, and that will attach the flame effect, and that's awesome. I love that. Such a good use. Now, I do wish they gave us the standard sword here with this hilt, but either way, I think this is such an ingenious use of that. You also get a little fish from the one episode, the one scene from the one episode type of thing. And he can hold this, and there you go, there he is holding the fish. I would never use this for display, but it's nice that they included that as an additional accessory. Alright, let's go over his articulation. The head can go up to there, down to there. It rotates at the neck. I showed you before, the jaw does open. It opens all the way up to there, so you can get it really wide. That's awesome. Love that. You have rotation here at the shoulder. It goes in and out, basically 180 degrees of movement there. 180 degrees movement on the elbow here. The hands are on a ball joint. They don't pop off like the other Masterpiece ones, like Fans Toys or Gigapower. It stays on there and it rotates, goes in and out. Basically anything you need. The legs on a joint here that go all the way out to there. Rotates all the way around on that joint. And then you can bend the knees back. The toes can bend, so you can kind of be running kind of thing. And the rear toes also bend, so if you want to kind of pretend. But very nicely done on those legs. Coming to the back to the tail, you have 3 joints, 1, 2, 3. And you can bend at all 3. So you can get his tail basically flipped out all the way one direction, so he can be kind of, you know, flipping his tail out to hit something, which is really cool. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Newage Optimus Prime trailer and roller. And Optimus Prime himself fits in nicely. Obviously much bigger in the robot mode, but here in the Dyna mode, it does scale nicely with these vehicles. He does tower over the vehicles. So there you go. Alright, now let's get the guy transformed into his robot mode. Pretty enjoyable and fun. You know, I was not sure what to expect here, but let's start with these arms. So flip these out. You're going to pull these legs apart here, flip down the hand. We're going to rotate this forearm piece until it lines up here. And then you can close these back down. And you can see how they change the width. Now the arm is like perfectly rectangular, whereas before it was triangular. So really cool how they did that. Very nice design. So same thing on this side. Rotate, flip the hand out, close these up. Beautifully done. Pull these arms out on these joints here. That'll give you a little space. Then we're going to come back to here, and we want to open up this piece here. And that gives us access to the legs. And we're going to separate the legs. Now the first time you do this, they might be tight just due to the paint. So you might want a spudger here, especially on this back part here. I don't want you to break any of the plastic here. So just use a spudger to slowly break this, split this apart, right? So it doesn't get damaged, you know, any of these pegs. It does feel robust. I don't feel like anything's going to break there. The plastic feels really good, but I just want to be careful, especially when you first get out of the package. Go ahead and take this tail piece, fold that in. It's going to tuck in away. We're going to lift this piece up and rotate the leg all the way around so that you end up with the thigh up here. And then you're going to fold that thigh straight. This is going to come down here. You're going to rotate here on that joint, and that's going to allow you to push that into the side of the leg. All right, you can straighten that up. Bring this down, come to the bottom here. You're going to fold this panel in. That's going to come down and sit on the bottom of his leg. And that's basically one leg done. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Lift this up. And we're going to rotate the leg 180 degrees. Bring this piece back up. Rotate this upwards. And that's going to come down and sit into here. Just like that. Be careful with these painted pieces. You don't want to scratch the paint, so just take your time. This is going to come down and sit in there. And that's both legs done. All right, now we're going to go ahead and very traditional Grimlock style, we're going to split this. So again, if you need a spudger, you can, but we do want to split this right here. That'll allow you to take this entire thing, fold that back, and just get that out of the way. We're going to take this, and this is going to slide upwards. So you can kind of hold your fingers here and then push down. So put your fingers here and then push, and that'll lift up the whole chest. You can put these arms back in. They do tab in like that. Fold the head down. This is going to fold down and make the backpack. You can tab that in to the back. Move these out of the way for a second. The head is going to fold up and sit like this. So the traditional one usually sits down like this. You can have it like that, but I'm just going by the instructions. I think they have it straight back. But either way, it works. It doesn't matter. For articulation purposes, you might want to have it straight like that. And then I like to take these arms and hide them to the inside like this. And you can put these wings slightly back or slightly up if you want to angle them up. And there you have Ymir transformed up into his robot mode. Absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty much fully painted. I'm not sure about these thigh pieces. The red plastic here is unpainted, but everything else you see, all the gray, the yellow, everything else is painted. Really good looking. Here's the back. It is pretty clean. It tidies up pretty nicely. These arms don't really go anywhere. I think in the book they recommended having it like this. But I think that's ugly because it shows up from the front. I don't want those hands showing up. So you can just tuck them back. You can do whatever you want. But I like to tuck them back underneath like that so they're hidden away. He does use his accessories here in robot mode, of course. You've got the gun, which you can put in this hand here. And you have the sword, which is really the flame effect sword. Now, they didn't give you the regular one, unfortunately, so you can only use the flame effect. I imagine with other versions of this figure, repaints and whatnot, we're going to get the other sword as well. But you do get this one. It does look good. It's just not the traditional sword that we're used to. You also get a open-fisted hand like these, or open hand or expressive hand. So you can take this off and you can put these on here. Now you can't transform it with these hands because obviously they don't fit inside of the dino legs, but you can use these for some poses. I like how those look overall. Alright, let's take a look at his articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so it goes all the way up to there. Newage likes to put their heads on really tall posts so you can get the maximum posing out of it. So you get a little bit down, way up, you get side to side out of it, and it rotates all the way around. So you get a lot out of that. These wings can go back and forth like this, and you can pose them up and down, although I think it looks best just straight back like that with the hands kind of hidden underneath here. Shoulders rotate all the way around, similar to the legs in Dino mode, up to there on this joint here. Rotation at the elbow. Single jointed elbow, you can see the full bend just due to the sculpt. They really did a good job there. Rotation at the wrist, since they're on a peg. Rotation at the waist all the way around. Ab crunch. And this thing. The legs, if you move the hip skirts out of the way, can go up to there, back to there, out to the side, rotation at the thigh. Single jointed knee gets you 90 degrees. You can get it a little bit past because of this joint here. So I guess it's a double jointed knee because there's a joint there and then there's the joint there. So it is double jointed, but you still get basically 90 degrees out of it just due to the sculpt. You have a toe tilt. I guess it's the ankle tilt because the whole thing tilts with it. So you get a ankle tilt all the way out, forward to there, and nothing back, but plenty of movement out of those. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Newage Optimus Prime. He definitely towers over him. I don't know if this scale is right, but it's good enough for me. It is, you know, obviously much bigger and, you know, makes sense next to Optimus Prime here. So final thoughts on the Newage Ymir. Let's start with the positives. I think overall the look of this guy is really awesome in both the Dino mode and in the robot mode. They put a lot of paint on this guy. Not a lot of details, but because it's supposed to look very tuned. But where they did put paint, it does look good, and there's a ton of it on this. Overall, I also like the accessories. The sword is really well done, although I do wish we got the swap out piece here so we could put the original sword on there without the flame effect. The gun is fine, that works. It's very traditional Grimlock. You also get the alternate hands here for the expressive look, and you get the fish. And if actually I forgot to show it, but if you want to hold the fish in the hands, you can. But those are nice little accessories to include. Overall, the articulation is really good. They did a great job. It's probably the most articulated Grimlock we've gotten. Even at the MP scale, I think it's basically the most articulated we've ever received. Negatives-wise, there's a couple things, though. Number one, I noticed in pictures that these open legs here are kind of ugly. Now, Newage has mentioned that they're going to give covers for these with later figures. So later versions of Ymir will come with covers. I don't know how you get the covers for this guy. Probably had to purchase a different Newage figure, and they'll give it to you. But in person, I can tell you it doesn't bother me. It's really not that bad. Honestly, I just don't notice it because it's such a good-looking robot. But that is a negative, especially if you have the foot facing open like I do here. It's going to kind of stand out. The only other negative I can think of for this guy is the price point. So at US retail, this comes in at $110, which is a hard pill to swallow for a legend scale figure. Now in Chinese retail, this is $60. I don't know why there's such a huge difference in the price point, almost double the price. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. At the $60 price point, I definitely recommend this. Great figure. At the $110 price point, I'm not so sure if this is going to be worth that price. You know, it's basically an MP price right there. So I guess it depends where you buy it from. But either way, I do think it's a great figure. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.